What's up, everyone? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Reoz and my buddy Braxton. I'm bringing you guys UFC 270 here. So I'm on Fanduel Sportsbook right now. We just did our prize picks video for the card. We did 3 picks over there, did a little 3 pick power. So check that out if you haven't. That should be uploaded by the time you're watching this one. So we got 2 title fights here. A really solid card, honestly. Not as good as the last 2 cards we covered. The first 2 cards we covered were amazing cards. Some of the prelims should have been like main card fights, honestly. So nothing like that on this card, but really the main card isn't as bad as people are giving it. As downgrading it for. I actually think it's pretty decent. Some of the lines are pretty close, and there's some solid value. So we're gonna get started on this. I'm gonna go over to Tapology, and we're gonna start on the first fight on the main card, and we're gonna go Michael Morales and Trevin Giles. So what do you guys think about this fight?
Yeah, I like Giles here. Very even line. No real intuition here. I'm just kind of going off the fact that this is Morales' first real fight in the UFC. Giles has a ton of fights underneath his belt, and I'm just kind of leaning more towards kind of the veteran guy here. I mean, a couple tough losses for Giles, but you got to go with someone who's used to the spotlight here. I mean, it's a big difference from fighting in the Contender Series and all the other fighting companies that Morales has been on. Giles is through and through the more veteran guy here.
Yeah, he's fought on the Contender. He's fought on UWC. I mean, this is his first fight. He actually comes in as the favorite here, minus 220. Let's see on FanDuel. I think you get the same odds there, minus 118 over on FanDuel. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much like a pick 'em realistically. I mean, the younger guy here is Morales, and actually he's got an extra 5 inch reach over Giles here, which I think might give him the advantage here. I think I'm going to lean more towards the rookie here. I like this guy in this debut fight for the reason that they're putting him on the main card. I think gives me a little bit of incentive that they want this guy out there to compete on a big stage here. So I'm just like, I think it's a toss up fight, and I don't mind how Reoz is going Giles at all. I think that's a solid pick, but realistically, I'll probably go with the favorite here in Morales.
Yeah, man. Eh, If I had to make a pick, I guess I would have to go with Giles just for a couple of reasons, man. Just because he's a veteran in the UFC at this point. He's got a lot of experience, and the knock on Giles has always been his bad IQ, and that he's been having 2 jobs. He's also a cop, and he's fighting in the UFC. So with him making this is his first time fighting at 170. So with that, maybe seeing a more focused and maybe a more hungry Giles, maybe we'll see a better performance out of him. But the thing that's scaring me with Morales is, you know what I mean. He is undefeated. He's got that 5 inch reach advantage that he will use. He sticks on the outside. He pokes that jab out. He's a good volume striker. The only thing that's scaring me is that they put this fight on the main card, and it should not go on the main card. The only reason why I'm thinking that is maybe the UFC's got some stock in this Morales kid. So that's honestly the only thing that's throwing me off of Giles, or else I would hammer him. Personally, I know you guys are looking for a tiebreaker. You're probably not going to get it from me, man. This is a big stay away fight. But if you degenerates have to play it, I guess I would take Giles or whatever the plus money pick is.
Yeah, I agree, Bubs, man. I think that the UFC does have a little bit of stake in this Morales guy coming in, being on the main card right away. So I totally agree there. Let's jump to the next fight, and we're gonna go over to Cody Stamen and Said Nurmagomedov. I'm literally butchering these names. I'm so sorry. They put me on the spot here with these names, but yeah, running this fight here, we got Stamen at plus 165, and then Saeed at minus 190 here, coming as the favorite. So I'd imagine a lot of the money comes in on Saeed just because of his last name. Realistically, obviously he's got a pretty decent track record here. He's been fighting the UFC for a little bit of time now, and the younger guy comes in. They're pretty similar, in terms of height, but he does have the better reach here. So, I mean, I agree why all the money's coming in at Saeed. I'm going to ride with him well in this fight, too.
Yeah, I mean, you're really getting no value betting on him at minus over on the DraftKings. If it's the same thing for FanDuel, minus 195. But I do like a little value here, taking under 2.5 rounds at plus 220. I definitely can see this fight finishing early. These are two guys that really like to get after it. So uh, I like the value here. I like the plus money here for sure. Not finishing it within the distance.
And this is another good fight. Maybe one of the better fights on the main card, other than the main and the co-main, just because they match up very well. They're yin and yang. When you hear the last name Nurmagomedov, you think, "Oh wow, he's a Dagestani Russian wrestler," and that's the opposite you're getting, man. That's not his game. He's more of a striker, finesse striker, very creative on the outside. And Stamen, he's your typical American wrestler, but he's bland on the feet. He's gonna give you your basic meat and potatoes type of striker. So it's kind of the simple question, like, can Saeed stay on the feet and just pick at him, and can Stamen get it to the ground? For me personally, I would back Nurmagomedov. I think he should be able to do this relatively easily. Every time Stamen fights somebody with a name or somebody who's high caliber, he seems to just lose, man. I think that Stamen's kind of like a top 15 gatekeeper. That's just my opinion personally.
Yeah, Reoz. Like you said, I don't mind that value too with the fight not going the distance at 182. I think that's what it is over here on FanDuel. I think that's very solid value there. Bubs, is there any sort of props that you want to look to in this fight, or are you kind of just riding with the favorite here?
I'm kind of riding with the favorite. If I had to pick a prop, um, I would disagree with Riaz. I would say fight goes the distance. Just because I think both of these guys are very tough. They're very durable. And I don't. There's no way Stamen finishes Nurmagomedov, and you're just kind of banking on Nurmagomedov to outclass Stamen on the feet. I mean, I, and personally speaking, I think that it's gonna go the distance. So if I had to pick a prop, I would say fight goes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So we got some differences here going on right here early on in this main card. Into the next fight, Piera and Fiallo are going at it here. I think a lot of us are both agreeing on the favorite here, minus 280 and Piera. Um, it just like the track record too. We were talking about Fiallo before we started up the video. He's the type of guy that finishes his fights, just by knockouts. Like he's really, um, what would you say, Bubs? 80% knockout rate.
I believe he's at 79%, but
79.
79% of his wins are by KO. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what he's looking for when he's out there, realistically. But what do you think about this fight, Riaz?
Yeah, I mean, new opponent here. Definitely tough taking a fight. Short notice. You got to go with the favorite here. I mean, he's had a full camp to kind of, uh, unfortunately, see two different guys at this point since um, his opponent got pulled. So we saw the flair he brings when he fights. I mean, throwing slaps, doing flips, jumping off the cage. I know Dana White doesn't love that, but it's kind of one of those guys that can bring a lot of attention to the UFC. So I don't want to say they have stake in him, but he's definitely proved in his short time in the UFC that he's definitely someone who's going to stick around.
Yeah, I mean that's a great take. I just to touch on what Ria said, I feel like that's kind of the only reason why this fight is in the main card, because Fiallo, he's not really that great. He's making his debut in the UFC, and Pereira, he's they put him in the main card because he's known for these theatrics. He does these dance routines, he does backflips in the cage. So I like Pereira here to win. But with that being said, him being at like a, what is he, minus 280, 300, minus 300 favorite, I'd like to stay off of that and maybe try to take a prop. Fiallo, he's known to be like a low volume, slow striker. You know what I mean? And he has a bad gas tank. So with that, I'd like to say that the fight is gonna finish. So maybe Pereira inside the distance, or Pereira by KO if you're trying to get greedy and get a little money hungry. But like you guys said, Pereira should roll very easily. I'm not very impressed by Fiallo at all. You know what I mean? He's gotten kicked out of LFA. He's gotten kicked out of Bellator, and he had a good record there. I feel like he kind of got let go for a reason. I feel like they didn't really see much in him. And I feel like Fiallo is just kind of here to put on a show because he is a knockout artist, and Pereira is here to put on a show, to dance around the outside and knock him out. That's just my opinion.
Well,
But
Pierre by KO is plus 210. So do you like that value there?
yeah, that's good value, especially for saying he's minus 280 favorite.
Yeah.
And that gas tank on Fiallo was terrible, man. He's I'd be shocked if he made it to the third.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I like the props here going on this fight. If you're trying not to just like dump all on the heavy favorite, clearly we're all on Piera here. We're gonna jump over to the first title fight here. We got Moreno and Figueiredo. What do you guys think about this fight?
I mean, I definitely like Marrero in this fight. I mean, tough fight in the first one. He got um, that TK or the choke out in the second fight. I mean, um, this is just a different. When you see someone already twice in such a short span of time, you kind of know what is going to be thrown at you. You can't really mix things up. You kind of have really one set way of fighting. I mean, there's a million things you can do, but Marrero just kind of looks the same. I mean, he's not this big bulky guy. He uses his wrestling very well. He can stand and pound if he really wanted to, and I think that just brings a lot of different angles into this fight that I can just see him winning.
Yeah, Bubs. I'm curious on what you think about this fight. I mean, this one is a dog here that I see a lot of people over on Twitter. They can figure it out a little bit here. I'm wondering what you think about that.
I mean, personally, if I had to pick someone, I would pick Figueroa. But where I really like to focus in is on the over under. Man, they got this put at 3.5, and I think that's a hammer for the over. I mean, if the first fight went to a draw, and in the second fight, I feel like Figueroa, he got finished because he was starting to fatigue. You know what I mean? He had a bad weight cut, and if you've seen the pictures that he put out early on Instagram this week, he's been with Fight Ready, which is known for transforming people's body types. And man, we've seen that he is shredded. It looked like he's taken the weight cut seriously. He's done it the right way. So I see Figueroa out there at his best, man. And I like to see him this fight go the distance. With that being said,
The fight
and
going the distance is positive money here at plus 134, so I think that's really good value too.
yeah, and Moreno, he's never been finished in a loss. So if Figueroa's gonna win, most likely he wins by decision. And I feel the same way with Moreno. He's either gonna win by submission or he's gonna win by decision. There's no way he's gonna win by strikes.
Okay,
So I
Reoz.
like the fight to go over and to the distance.
Yeah, I mean that's great value you're getting there at the over. We talked about on the Prize Picks video that um, on Prize Picks this fight was 17 and a half, and we love that over. So really great value for a fight that we've seen pretty much almost go the distance twice.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, if the fight really on positive money, we're going that on Prize Picks too to go over on Moreno too. So I'm a fan there going with plus 134 odds over on FanDuel to definitely get that over or go to the distance at least. So we're gonna go to the title fight here, main event, Nagano and Gane right here. So what do you guys think about this fight?
Very excited for this fight. I mean, this is the first time we're seeing Francis Ngannou really kind of fight someone who matches up so well. This same pretty much the same reach. He's got 2 inch reach on him. Same exact height. They're probably going to come in right around the same weight, even though Gane is 10 pounds lighter right now. They usually add 10-15 pounds just after all that weight cut. I mean, this is going to be a phenomenal fight. I like the plus money here for Francis Ngannou. We know the striking power. We know he's worked on his wrestling. He is basically a way different fighter than we've seen the first time he fought Stipe, and Gon was in his camp for that. So these two are very really familiar with each other. But Francis Ngannou joining this new camp is just looked phenomenal. He's shown time after again against big fights that it doesn't matter if you match up well with him. He just seems to find a way to stop you.
Oh man, I'm so excited for this fight, man. These are the two biggest, baddest fucking fighters in the whole world, honestly, man. That's what we're here for, the heavyweights to throw down. And I think here that Ngannou's just gonna get the edge, man. He can end the fight with one punch at any moment, man. He carries his power into the later rounds. And with that being said, like I think that these guys are gonna have a feeling out process early on. And I think these guys are kind of gonna play it safe because they both respect each other. They both know what they bring. Like Reoz said, they're both former training partners. And so maybe I take the over, and I really like Ngannou, man. Ngannou, I mean Gane, he has good footwork. He has good boxing. He's gonna be able to evade a lot of the strikes that Ngannou is gonna bring forward. But man, we've never seen a guy in this division with this devastating power, man. I mean, he's a freight train, and you got to get out of the way, or you're done, man. With that being said, if you're gonna get plus money on that, one punch ends it. He's got 25 minutes to find it. He carries his power in the later rounds. I'm gonna take that, man. This guy's he's fought in the best there was, man. And I don't know if Gane is ready for that yet.
I like the value, man, for Nagano, for real. We talked about it in the Prize Picks video. We're all on Nagano here, especially when you're getting plus money. Yeah, plus 125 here over on Fanduel. Let me give a look at what this is right now. Plus 122, so pretty much similar odds. Reoz, you got the same thing over on DraftKings.
Yeah, yep, 125.
Yeah, so Bubs, I don't know if you were looking at any props for this main event, or you're just like really comfortable taking the plus money on the dog here.
Yeah, I would just take I'd take Nagano straight up because I believe his KO prop might be even worse than his money line because that's the only way Nagano wins is by KO. He's got 100% finish rate, and with that being said, uh, the only way Gon wins is by decision, in my opinion.
Oh,
So I would either
okay.
take Gon decision or just straight up Nagano money line.
Gone decision. Um, or Nagano decision is plus 145, or by KO is plus 145. So, realistically, if you're gonna go Nagano, you might as well just take the plus 145 money if you're gonna
Yeah,
go if for
might
the
as well.
KO. So, yeah, man. It's the UFC videos are always a good time. We like bringing Bubs on here. He's the UFC man. We're gonna be doing some stuff for some Patreon. Over on over on our Patreon for the UFC. We're gonna do a little bit of prize pick stuff like we did. We'll post our cards on there, and then we'll post some of the bets. We'll talk about my bets, Riaz's bets, even what Bubs is thinking too. So thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, we're gonna continue to do these for each UFC main event, and if you guys show us some solid feedback, if you guys like these, we'll start doing the fight night cards, move into some stuff that's a little bit more diving into the sport a little bit more. So thank you guys for watching, and we're gonna catch you in the next video. Peace.
Money in the bank.